Today, I am incredibly privileged to bring to you remarkable multi-sport athlete, a champion archer who has not only conquered podiums across Africa and the US, but is also helping to grow the sport from Abuja to Massachusetts. It is my delight to welcome to Coffee with Ada Mr. Dami Sholademi. I'm really excited to have this conversation today because when I first heard about your story, I was like, we have Nigerians who do archery. I was really excited. So I'm going to start sort of back at the beginning, right? You've achieved so much across many continents. You have done a lot of competitions, a lot of medals. Talk to me about how this journey into archery began for you.
I think it was in 2020 during the COVID. I remember it was around July, August during the COVID. My friends and I got bored. Prior to the COVID, we would always go hiking a lot. I would hike every weekend in Abuja. So I practically climbed almost every mountain in Abuja. So we got bored and I just saw one of in his WhatsApp status. I saw him doing archery. I just sent him a message. What's happening? How do I hook up with you to do this? We both found our way to another guy's place who was then a stranger. He had made bows from PVC pipes and strings and arrows from bamboo and cane. So we all met up and started practicing with homemade bows and arrows. We did that for some months. After a while, we just sat down and said, you know what? Why don't we start an archery club?
Really?
Yes. So we started buying proper equipment. Well, low-end equipment. We started an archery club, registered it, and we started watching archery on YouTube, learning from YouTube. Well, we made lots of mistakes that we probably shouldn't have made, but that was the price for learning the style we did. So along the way, we would meet other archers. They will show us a bit of what they know. You know, I would incorporate what we've learned on YouTube, and we kept practicing. And when we started in 2020, by 2021, we attended the National Archery Championships in Nigeria. Some of our guys won medals. Then I wasn't even on the radar, national radar.
Right.
But I kept practicing in the dark, figuratively. And in 2022, there's an opportunity to represent Nigeria at the African Archery Championships. That will be Nigeria's first representation at the African Championships.
Amazing.
Yeah, that time came and I asked myself, can you do this? Like, why not? So my guys and I got together, we prepared and went to South Africa. In South Africa, we won 2 silver medals. It was an amazing experience. We're like a tiny fish in a large pond in South Africa because all the guys that came in were very good archers. You know, so since then it's been awesome.
But still, to win 2 silver medals in your first showing at the Africa level is really interesting. Were you guys supported by the government, or how does that work?
No, since I started archery till date, every amount I've put into archery has been my savings, gifts from family and friends, nothing from... The only thing we get from the government is because while doing archery, you can't be in the international community if you do not pass through your federation.
Right.
The support the federation gives is administrative support. They ensure you're registered, you follow the due process, which, like I said, you can't do anything without administrative end. In terms of finances, we've spoken to a number of corporate bodies, but it's been self-funded.
So you and your friends got interested in it, you were bored, you started working on it. For you personally, what is it about the sport that really resonated with you? Because people have hobbies all the time that they start. I've probably started like 50 hobbies in my lifetime, and I'm like, oh, it's so great. I'll buy a guitar, I'm going to play it. And then after I'm like, What is it about archery that spoke to something in you that made you to continue and invest so heavily in it?
Okay, I'm an intense person. And if I like something, I'm liking it to the very end. My friends would always joke that if you took me and placed me in medieval times, that I'll be very comfortable at home. And true to
Interesting.
that, I do a lot of sports, a lot of primal sports. I'm an avid martial artist.
I saw that. I was like, oh,
I've been competing in various
right.
martial arts for like 25 years. So I enjoy those primal things. And so for me, archery was okay, one more tick to the primal stuff.
Yeah.
And when you do archery, archery helps you with focus. It sharpens your focus, it sharpens your discipline because you cannot have a lot of things going on in your mind and do archery at the same time. So for me, I think of 1,000 things at once. When I stand and I shoot, every other thing vanishes. It's just the target. It helps with my Zen state of mind where everything is at peace. So for me, archery does that for me.
Which means you can't be upset or angry or in
No,
like in a
you
bad mood when you shoot.
you'll shoot crap. You
Interesting.
have to keep your emotions at bay when doing archery. You and the bow, you have to become one. Once you allow a third party, which is a random thought, it distorts your shooting. The athlete becomes one with their equipment.
Right.
You and your bow, you have to sync at the same time. When you draw, when you are breathing, you have to breathe with your bow. Everything has to come together for that one perfect shot that you're about to make. So what we always say is you leave one arrow at a time. Just one arrow at a time.
That's an interesting. You live one arrow at a time.
Oh, yes.
So everything is in that moment.
That one
you
moment.
don't think about anything
You
else.
cannot afford to.
Amazing.
You'll pay the price.
Speaking about bows, they have this lovely contraption here.
Yeah.
Can you talk to us a little bit about the equipment you use? Tell us a little bit about what is involved in becoming a good archer. Your bow, your arrows, like what should we be thinking about?
What you have here, your most basic form of a bow. It's called the bear bow. This looks very familiar, like what you would probably see in movies.
Other games.
Yes. For competitive or target shooting,
Yeah.
most bows will have an aluminum riser.
Okay.
So if you notice, these holes are just to reduce, but yeah. For bare bow shooters, you add a bit of weight just to give a bit of balance. So this is your very basic form. You have your riser. This part is called the riser. Now these are the limbs. The limbs are detachable. This is a 41-pound limb. That's the poundage, the pull weight, a force of 41 pounds. Most people won't start with this. Most people will start with a lighter, like 18, 20, 22, until their back muscle gets used to it. So this is what your basic bow looks like. Like every other thing, they come in various prices. So
and probably sizes, I guess?
Yes,
Height,
because there's a height ratio. For me, this is okay. It could be taller, but this is fine for me. There are different brands you can get depending on how much you're willing to invest. So that's what your basic entry bow. So you have your arrow rest and your plunger. This is where you rest your arrow. Your plunger helps to keep your arrow back. So this is one of the basic things to invest in. For arrows, there are different variations of arrows. Okay, they come in different sizes. The archer's paradox is when you shoot an arrow, it's flying straight, but in actuality it's wobbling left and right. So it's called the archer's paradox. So the degree of flex you have in your arrow is called the spinage. So the heavier your bow is in terms of draw weight, the stiffer your spine. If it is too soft, your arrows will explode. Yeah, it will break. Those are things to consider. They also come in different dimensions. Some are fat, some are slim. Then the fletchings here could be plastic, it could be feathers, depending on what exactly it is you want to shoot. So you also have basic accessories. You use your pouch where you put different things you need. This is your quiver.
Very stylish.
Oh yeah, we all have our style. I'm an anime fan. So this is a Naruto
that's
team.
My nephew loves Naruto stuff.
So I don't know. For those that are anime lovers, you understand what these means. Yeah, these are some of the basic stuff.
Yeah.
Now for this.
Right.
This is a compound bow.
I read that.
Yeah, so it's a compound bow. A compound bow is slightly different from every other kind of bow in the sense that it has mechanical moving parts. It has a pulley system, which we refer to as the cams, your upper cam and your lower cam. We have an intricate layout of the strings. So what these cams help to do is they help to magnify or amplify the strength of your bow. Compound bows can range in terms of their poundage, depending on the manufacturer. Some give a range of about 30 pounds, while some are like strictly between 10 pounds range, depending on what you're shooting. Currently, my draw weight is at 58 pounds.
That's a
So
lot.
I like fast arrows. So I pull 58 pounds. With this,
The scope.
yes,
Oh,
there's the
fantastic.
magnifying glass in there. The magnifying glass helps me pick up my target. We also have a clarifier. Here in my PIP, I have a tiny lens that helps me adjust so I can see very clearly. Then we have the arrow rest. That's where I lay my arrows on. It's called the drop away rest. Once I fire, the rest will drop to ensure there's no friction
For the
when
arrow.
arrows to travel through. Then I also have stabilizer rods. I use a ramrod. So these help with balance of my bow. So there's no tilt left or right. You can customize this any way you want. So then of course my stand. Some people have slightly modified ones.
Right.
So it comes, there are bells and whistles you can attach to your bow. The third one, which I haven't set up, is the Olympic recurve. It's a modification of your bear bow.
Thank you for walking us through that.
Welcome.
I wanted to ask you, you talked a little already about discipline and mindset and how you have to be in a zen mood, able to actually focus and shoot straight.
Yeah.
How do you train your mind? Many people are thinking about things all the time, you know, you can barely, especially even today in the day of like social media, there's so much stuff coming at you that for someone to sit down and clear their mind completely to focus on that one task repeatedly. Are there things that you do to ensure that you can have that calm mind?
All right. Okay. A number of things. For me, I wouldn't be starting from scratch in the sense that I've done combat
yourself,
sports.
right?
So
Oh, you've done sports.
I know how to focus.
All right.
But what I would advise for people coming in is when you start shooting, follow instructions. Follow the instructions. If the instructions say stand like this, you stand. Have a checklist, a mental checklist of the instructions. So by the time you start going through mental checklist, you are less likely to think of a random thing when you are mentally going through those checklists. The checklist becomes second nature. At that point, if I were your instructor, I'll tell you the other things to start focusing on. By the time you've gone through all the different things you should focus on,
right?
of course, those thoughts will always come, but by that time you would have learned how to shut out the noise.
When you think about your years of competition, what is your proudest moment so far on the archery range in the work that you've done in this space?
Standing on the podium and having the national anthem played for you. I was in Cote d'Ivoire last year. We had the West and East African Championship, so I met up with the Nigerian team in Cote d'Ivoire. We won. I got 2 gold medals, 1 silver, 1 bronze. Interestingly, where I lost the bronze and the silver match, there were other Nigerians that won.
Fantastic.
So, which meant at 4 different times, I was on that podium holding the Nigerian flag and the national anthem was playing. It's a nice moment. It feels good. You know, importantly, I mentioned we started during COVID, right? As at that time, we had fewer than 5. No, we were like just 3 private archery clubs in Nigeria as at that time. Of course, the police had one, the army had, I think, the army and the police, and 2 other private clubs. But when we came on, as probably the 4th, we started having the biggest archery competition in Nigeria from 2021. Right now, we have more than 25 private archery clubs in Nigeria. And the interesting thing is that we know all of them. You can trace
where they came from.
Either and how those that moved from us now set up like 2 more. So there's a link to our origin. And I belong to Archery Club in Nigeria. Our model is what everybody else is replicating.
That's so fantastic.
Yeah, for me, it's a good thing because we've been able to change the face of archery in Nigeria. There has been archery in Nigeria before now, but we've blown it out of proportion now.
Making it wider appeal to people.
We made the entry level really low for people to come in, enjoy it. You know, we just finished one in Nigeria. We had over 100 archers in attendance. There was nothing like that before.
Fantastic. And so now you and the Nigeria team are preparing for your 3rd appearance.
Yes.
At the African Archery Continental Championship in Cote d'Ivoire.
Yes. Sir.
Tell me a little bit about what you're looking forward to in this particular competition and what Nigerians can expect to see from the team.
Honestly, I'm looking forward to meeting my rivals. The,
It's
the,
coming for you.
there are a few of them. The Zimbabweans, we have this interesting relationship. We met them in South Africa and they really helped us. Of course, they were shooting against us, but they realized that these guys are new. They need guidance. In fact, we set up a group where they'll share knowledge. I have utmost respect for the Zimbabweans. The last time we met in Tunisia, they eliminated us. We ended up winning the bronze medal at the team level, but there was no hatred, no beef, nothing. We are brothers, but we're also rivals. So I look forward to meeting those kind of people. And I look forward to meeting up with the other members of the Nigerian team. We've been training apart. There's something to look forward to. But I believe that what Nigerians should expect from us, we are bringing home medals. Off the top of my head, at least 3. I'm that confident, at least 3. All things being equal, at least 3.
Fantastic. Well, congratulations or best of success in this competition. You've been competing for a while. Beyond competing, you're also an instructor, clearly a mentor. You've built a whole ecosystem of archery in Nigeria. I want to hear about, for you, what is your philosophy in teaching new people? Where does that come from? What is the thing you go back to when it comes to coaching a new person? For instance, if I'm coming in to train with you, how do you approach your coaching philosophy?
Okay. When somebody comes to me and they want to learn, what I think of is that is an Olympian. That's the first thing that crosses my mind. That's a potential Olympian. That's a diamond in the rough. I remember when I started archery, when we were just doing for fun, and someone, you might not remember, he said, he's not an archer, he's a mascot for archery. That was how the person referred to, like, he referred to me as a mascot for archery. I just smiled because I like to work in the dark when no one sees me. When my hard work is that good enough, it's going to come out in the open. So when I see people, I think that's a potential Olympian. That is a champion. How do I want to handle this person? Would I be the reason why this person never becomes a champion? Or will I be that person that would help this individual realize their potential, their archery potential? I have used that, and in the last 3 years, I have made champions out of people that have won medals. There was someone I coached remotely, and the person won a bronze medal at the last championship.
Amazing.
The person had other people on the range that were helping out, but I will always ask, send me videos, send me pictures of you shooting. Let me see how you hold the ball. Let me see this and like that. Don't do this, do that. Of course, remote teaching isn't the best, but there's a certain degree of experience you have as an instructor that you can correct some fundamentals.
So taking that experience and that insight, right? You co-founded Archery Club in Abuja.
Yes,
You've developed people, not just individually, but helped to spawn clubs. Tell me a little bit about your view when it comes to developing sports talents in Africa, because sports is a very important medium that, it's being explored everywhere. How do you think about how your experience can help us think about how sports talent is developed in Africa?
Okay, I want us to look at it this way. Let's take our minds off the popular sports.
Okay.
What do I mean? In a game of football, you need almost 20 players. That's the active and the reserve to win 1 medal. And they can only win 1 medal. An archer is capable of winning 3 in every competition, at least 3.
Individual, team, and mixed teams.
That's the potential in one archer. In fact, some archers can train in 2 or 3 different categories. So the point is, why are we focusing so much energy on something that gives just a tiny fraction of possible results? We spend so much money in Africa on the major sports. How far has that taken us? So let's focus on individual sports, low entry for individual sports. And let's also look at this. Sports development should start from primary school. That's the best time. From the age of 7, 8, start from that point, then grow through secondary school. So you don't have accidental champions. There was a competition 2 competitions ago. I shot beside a world champion. He's 18. Of course he beat me. But he's
been training
He's been shooting since he was like 6 or 7. You can't replace that. No matter how enthusiastic you are, you can't replace that experience. So, sport development in Africa, we should look at grassroots and we should take our minds off the popular sports. These sports win lots of medals at the Olympics. So, I think these are things we should focus on.
Do I have what it takes to become an archer?
I'll watch you shoot.
Oh,
Hey,
not sure about that. But okay.
honestly, you have no idea. When I first started shooting, right now I shoot 50 meters. That's the distance I shoot with a small target. The first few months I was shooting, I couldn't hit something at 5 meters. I could not. Yes. So, again, there's a
Learning.
process. Like fine wine, it has to mature. There's a process. With the right guidance and leadership, you can become a champion. You may not have all the time to train because of the other things you're doing. But if within the little time frame you have, you can maximize it. I look forward to seeing you at a competition here in Massachusetts.
Oh, yeah, you've also competed here in the US, right?
Yep.
How do you? Well, thank you for the compliment. Maybe you guys will see coffee with other shooting bulls.
Possibly.
How has competing in the US been different than competing on the continent, if there are any differences?
Tons of differences.
Yeah.
Before I left Nigeria, I was this number 2 archer in Nigeria. Each time I would step onto competitions in Nigeria, everybody would be looking, oh, that team, that's the African Championship medalist. I walked different. When I got here,
Become humble.
oh my goodness. You know, back home, if somebody won me, maybe with like 10 points max, here people were winning me with like 40. So I told myself, look, you know nothing, Jon Snow. I told myself that, and I spoke to people. After winning me, if I saw the person was approachable, I'll ask him, this is my story. Any tips for me? I had people turn me down. But I had some say, okay, fine. Some even gave me modifications on my equipment. For me, my journey in the US, I've been competing in the US since 2024. The state championships, I came in 4th. That was my first time shooting. And I shot at the nationals. But since then, I've been on a roll. I have a bag of medals. I'll show you. Of course, I've also learned lots of lessons too, humbling experiences, but I've had to travel around just to get to shoot. Importantly for me, it's been the learning process. Every time I stepped out to shoot, I was also learning. I would speak with older gentlemen who had been shooting for 30 years and they would give me tips. So for me, my archery journey in the US has been more of a learning journey. For me, the medals are just along the line.
Bit of Jara.
Yes, but for me, it's the learning process, the growth phase.
When you think about your legacy, how would you like to be remembered in the world of archery?
That's a tough one. Maybe because I still think the legacy still remains unwritten, or rather, it's still under construction. But so far, I think I would want to be remembered as the guy that loved archery and shared archery with everyone.
That's definitely true. So I have a couple of questions that are less about,
Archery?
more about yourself, which is, okay, well, before that though, what is next for you? What's your next target that you're aiming for?
For me, it's the next practice time. The reason is we have a philosophy in archery, right? Competitions are great, but you see those practice times, if you have it locked in, competition will be almost a walkover for you. So I have something I do. After every competition, if I win a medal, I look at the medal, I take pictures, I toss it up. I don't want to see it again. Some of these medals I'll be showing you today, I've not seen them since forever because it keeps me humble. I don't hang them somewhere, sit down, lay back. I don't do that. Once I win, wrap it up neatly and I toss it away. It's gone. I just move forward to the next practice, the next shoot, if I get a chance.
Fantastic. So a couple of rapid fire questions. What's your favorite thing about New England?
The cold weather.
You're kidding.
I'm not.
Yes, I love it too.
I sweat a lot. I run hot.
So cold weather.
It just keeps me cool.
Favorite Nigerian meal?
Pounded yam, king of swallow. Pounded yam.
With what soup?
Egusi. You know that egusi, they get plenty things inside.
Shaki.
Oh my goodness.
Things. Do you have a favorite Nigerian music or artist?
I don't.
African, if you know.
I have, my taste in music is wide. So I don't have a particular artist because that would be necessary bias. There's this one that is out right now, one house one. Kakashi, Kakashi, Kakashi. I don't know what the guy is saying, but it's a banger. You can't listen to it without, you have to move your head to it. So no matter who the artist, if you sing nice music, if I enjoy that music, I'll play your music. I'm not a do or die loyalist to an artist. If the music is nice, I'll rock to it.
Great. I want to ask for favorite Nigerian meal that you can cook.
I cook. Most
Ah,
I can cook. I
that's
like
cool.
good food, so I've learned how to cook my food.
The last question. What is the best advice your mom or dad gave you that you still live by today?
My dad, God rest his soul, he was an engineer. So most of the time he spoke in maths, physics, or engineering terms. My dad would say, if everything is going so smooth, you're probably going downhill, that there's zero friction. So you should expect reasonable resistance along the way. But what's important is overcoming. He built bridges and buildings all around Nigeria when he was alive. He would travel all over for construction. So he would say, when you meet resistance, overcome the resistance and go. But if it's super smooth all the way, you are going downhill. Yes, sir.
Dami, thank you so much for joining me.
You
It's been
well.
such a pleasure to speak with you, to hear about your story and your journey. And I wish you the best of success in this competition coming up and in everything else that you do. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Nice being here.
From the archery fields of Abuja to the championship regions on the world stage, Dami Sholademi reminds us that focus and discipline are universal languages of excellence. Thank you for joining us for another inspiring episode of Coffee with Ada. Don't forget to subscribe and share this story with someone chasing their own targets. See you. Thank you.